All right, here's the supplies for today's. Doing a little recon, recovering. Let's get it done.
A week ago, Kyle broke his A-arm. The helicopters haven't been able to get in because of weather. Today we have Bluebird in the morning with weather coming in the afternoon, so we're gonna try to fix it before that happens. But right off the bat, we ran into an avalanche. So instead of driving 40 minutes to his broken down sled, we're gonna have to go around, which is gonna take an extra 2 hours. Above the cloud, the riding was great, but we had weather coming in at 3, so we still had to find his snowmobile, fix his A-arm, and get back before that happened.
There she is.
To access the bolts, we need to disassemble the whole front end. So we started by unscrewing the hood, taking out the air intake, and removing any electrical connections. Now that the exhaust is exposed, we're able to remove any sensors and springs to completely remove the exhaust. That will allow us to get to the tie rod bolts and replace a new tie rod. That's supposed to be straight. We inserted the new tie rod and bolted it up. Now we can start removing the old broken A-arm and reinstalling the new one. First, we're going to undo the 2 top bolts. Then we insert new bushings into the new A-arm. Next, we're going to remove the shock. The shock stem was bent, but we're going to reuse the coil. So we'll remove the coil from the old shock and put it on the new shock before installed.
No, you're almost there, bro.
So we'll need to compress the coil, line the notch on the ring up to remove the spring. Now put the shock on whatever setting you prefer. We chose 2, and then we reverse the process.
Go, there we go.
Precision, accuracy, boys.
Then we wove the A-arm through the shock and bolted the shock back onto the sled. Then we bolted the new A-arm back onto the sled. We hammered the ball joint out of the lower A-arm to replace it with a new one. The socket worked well, but it did break the rubber. Once the ball joint was all the way in, we replaced the ring to keep it securely in place. From there we grabbed the old ski, which had the existing spindle, removed the broken ball joints off the existing spindle, and attached our new ball joints to our old existing spindle. The ball joint tends to spin when you tighten it, so you need to wedge it. We use vice grips. We had to attach the lower ball joint, the upper ball joint, and the ball joint from the tie rod. After that, we did our best to straighten out the carbide. Then it was time to put everything back, starting with the exhaust, the springs, all the sensors, the hood, and then the computer. Start her up. It took us about 2 hours, and unfortunately weather rolled in, but thankfully we were able to follow our tracks back down.
Complete whiteout. Scary, man.